I have been talking on other various economics subjects in my other videos. Today I am trying to get into the microcosm part of it. Economics is a very broad subject, but it involves linking together a set of smaller activities. Only if you link all the smaller activities, you will be able to get a bigger picture. A painting does not start off with one whole picture being there. You start off with small dots, small strokes, and then you get the full paint. In the same manner, economics and finance have to be dealt with from the bottom up, not from the top up. Why am I saying this? Because everybody talks about the broad concepts of economics, but nobody is willing to explain how we can achieve those goals. Some of the important factors that play a role in this is the thinking, the focus of the people, how they are guided, how they are made to think, how they are taught to think. And that is where I think we had made a beginning about 10, 12 years ago. In our country, we had not focused on the smaller things to achieve the bigger things. We started off with 5-year projects, which I've been talking in my other videos. And those 5-year plans are broad aspects of the economic structure of how India is going to be in the future. But the nitty-gritties are never explained. They are available in a book form, which not very many people are going to read those books. Only economists, critics, analysts, investment bankers, and those who are interested in bringing down the thought process of the existing political party, the ruling class, I would say. These are the only people who read all those books. But the common man has to get to understand where the focus is on by the government. And how does that work? That works only if you are able to break it down and bring it to the common man thinking. And that is what I am trying to do it in a very small way, in a microcosm way, in my own way, which I thought I'll put it across in the social media, because it attracts a lot of attraction, and it's got attraction also. Not only does it draw attraction, but it also has an attraction for people, either to criticize or to appreciate or to ignore. Everything does, whether you criticize, appreciate, or ignore is not the point. It is important that we focus on how we bring the thought process of the people at the helm of affairs, of how they are trying to achieve something and how they are going to take this country ahead. It's a very laudable objective, which I say that, which is very important for us to understand. So unless we have a broad concept of where we are heading, we will not be able to understand of how we can achieve that. For example, if you want to reach Trichy, you put the GPS and you understand which are the roads you have to cross, the towns you have to cross, the tolls you have to pay. So you have a very broad picture of reaching Trichy. Now, how do we do it? We start from a particular place and drive. And we cross those places and finally we reach Trichy. Because the GP is available today, we are able to see it on our screen and understand it immediately. But the broad 5-year plans are not available on a GPS mode. I think it's very important that the government thinks of putting it in GPS mode, so that the people, when they at the flick of a switch, they will be able to understand where the projects are going to, what is their contribution is going to be, where the contribution is going to be, what is the effect of the contribution, in which part of the country or the world this contribution is going to have an effect. That is what we have to direct our focus on. So that is where I'm coming to, where this current ruling class are trying to achieve. Recently our Prime Minister has thought about the focus that what we should do is take the rupee global. It has attracted a lot of interest, but a lot of criticisms. And also, it is many skeptics are there, and even myself, I think, talking about taking the Indian rupee global has to be dealt with very delicately and softly. It cannot be a marketing speech. It should be a possibility in the future. And that is what I said. The current PM should have exposed the people, the economists, the common man, to understand how the Indian rupee is going to go global. Well, digitization in a form, the UPI in a form, has made this possible. It is not global in a sense, but it is global still in a sense. For example, you can go to Singapore, you can go to Dubai, you can go to the UAE, and you get to so many other countries and use your RuPay card to pay in Indian rupees at the conversion rate existing at that time. So the Indian rupee is now recognized as an acceptable form of transactional currency. I think that's a good step forward. But when you talk about global currencies are those currencies which people are willing to hold as investments. That means the economy should be extremely strong, powerful, and it should be able to withstand the shocks of the economic forces which can misshape the economy of any country in the future. For example, after the COVID hit in the world, many countries buckled under the pressure of COVID. The closure of many places, the closure of tourists, the closure of airports, everything affected the economy of the world. And that turned the world topsy-turvy. Now, will India be able to stand this COVID attack again? I'm just bringing the COVID concept here for us to understand how an economy should be able to withstand the shocks and come out of it successful. Today, the US dollar is still strong enough, even after the COVID attack, even after people talking about deprecating the dollar in every way, it is still a strong force to recognize with. The pound, in spite of the economic pounding the UK is suffering from, the pound is still recognized international currencies and people are willing to trade in it. Then you have the European euro. The European countries are recovered after the COVID, but still the euro is recognized as an international currency because the economies which hold and control this euro are pretty strong. So that is where the focus should be on how, if we have to take the rupee global, how are we going to do it? What are the steps the government is going to take? How are we going to do it? These are all should be in a GPS form. Why I'm saying this is that the GPS will, I would say, energize the people to work towards it. Without a focus, any person will be meandering. You suppose if we have to go from here to Trichy, without the GPS, you'll be meandering. So, Our focus should be how we will be able to get these small things together to take it forward and to form a stronger economy. I think I'll continue with the next talk. Thank you very much.